It is time.
Sure, another fan request. As you said, we reached out and got a bunch of responses back from a bunch of really wonderful players out there. And this is from Allen Aucoin from the Disco Biscuits, drummer for the Disco Biscuits. Wanted
cool.
you to hear a song from an artist that I absolutely love and have known for known about for a very long time. They're very their CD's hard to come by. They're very not really. They're known very undergroundly. Let me put it that way.
When I Googled them, it was hard to really find this album at all.
It has amazing drummer. Dean Tony Parks is the drummer, and what's really cool about this band is that I'll read what Alan has written here. But I was turned on to him by a friend of mine who went to Berkeley, and she lived above them, and she was like, I used to go down and just hear them practice, and they're amazing, and you have to check these guys out. And she bought the CD and gave it to me. So this band is called Kudu. The album's Kudu was released in 2001. And this is from Alan. This is what Alan says about it. Dean Tony Parks, the drummer for Kudu, was the first drummer I heard play in a drum and bass style in 1996. We were both from Georgia. I always would go see him at All-State Jazz Band weekends. They both went to Berkeley. He was lucky to be in the same place and the same floor as Dean Tony. And I'd practice, and D'Antoni would come in and practice with him and completely shared the drums. But he's a monster. He's Alan's favorite drummer, and him and Dennis Chambers. I also thought, this is what Alan said, I also thought Russ would appreciate the grooves and hi-hat and snare work and his impeccable timing and the precision of his chops, and he hopes we all enjoy it. And this is Kudu.
Thank you, Alan.
Yeah, thank you, Alan. That was great.
Thanks, Alan.
This is Kudu with Cinemajik here on Galaxy Jams Reacts.
It's like Aphex Twin.
Oh, that's cool. Love how fuzzy those tones are.
Let's go. I like the mix they put on the drum kit too. It's super snappy.
It's very sharp and crisp.
That's how you get that sound, you get that feel too. The heads are tight. Oh, nice.
All right, Russ, so what do you think? What do you think about that?
Oh, that's some interesting playing right there, Yeah. I've dabbled in that just a little bit, but it's it sounds great. It's really cool. It's got, it's chops, but it isn't, in the sense of it's just to keep that up like that, it's hard.
Yeah, it's like Go on.
I was gonna say, I wonder what they did that. Cause they were in Berkeley then. With that, this Boston studios. I'm just curious. Maybe they did it at school.
I'm not sure. I don't remember where they recorded it. From what they told me, I think it might have been a school recording that they did for that.
It was in 2001, so maybe while they were still there.
Yeah.
Be,
okay.
Yeah, and I feel like this is like the definition of like breakbeat, and I felt like I was like doing math problems while listening to it.
Yes.
Like
X equals Y.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like I was like sitting with like I'm listening to jazz, right? Where you're just kind of like one eyebrow raised and you're looking off in the distance and pondering.
Right. Well, the very cool thing about this band Kudu is they also have a female singer who kills it on this album. And so they have some stuff that's pure music, pretty much like this, and they have songs where she's singing and her voice just kills. And the combination when she comes on too is magical. So
yeah, A Hugs RVA in the chat says it has big arcade game vibes and sounds like computer jazz.
It does.
That's a great take.
That's a good way to put it. Computer jazz.
Right. What do you think, Adam?
It's a fascinating song. To me, it's very much like a quilt. It's like how little theory can you use to bring together so many disparate parts that make it into one beautiful thing. Like
precisely.
There's so many contradictions. Anyone that's seen me on the show before knows I'm weak in theory at best, but you can tell that they're once again purposely breaking rules, purposely defying convention, and they're seeing how they can keep it all together. It's very interesting when the keyboard comes in because the breakbeat is very driving, and the keys kind of also has it very low key and slow, and so you're existing in this space where it's both moving and chill at the same time.
Yeah, you're forced to hang on to the drummers like every whim. Like you're right there with them. Like it's a really active listen. You can't just like passively put this on. You have to be like in it to win it, or else it's just going to sound like a jumbled noise.
I know when we've played, Mike, you and I've played kind of drum bass stuff in recently and in the past. It's always kind of like that kind of style is kind of like you're always hanging on the edge.
Yeah,
you're right there on the edge, on the precipice of completely destroying it.
Right.
But when you live on that edge, it's almost like riding a wave in a way.
Yes.
Right.
And it keeps going. And somebody else like, ooh, I figured out exactly what you're doing, and they add the perfect thing over that. It's so rewarding.
And it all pops into HD.
But it's also very scary to do. It's a challenge.
Good description, guys. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Great. Cool. Woo, right there.
It's definitely computer jazz. A Hugs RVA is very right.
Yeah, I hear like Tony Williams on the drums.
This is giving me
Tony Williams fusion era. He wouldn't play that like tight like that, but the freeness of the fills and things. And there's an album called "Believe It" by Tony Williams. I used to listen to a lot, and it had that real flow.
It just keeps ebbing back and forth like a wave, like tidal wave. It's like ear candy. Yeah, that whole thing just sounded so like wet and snappy at the same time. I can really see how Allen gets a lot of his chops and ideas from this and inspiration from that, because I'm a gigantic fan of Allen and the Disco Biscuits, and I can definitely hear a lot of the different, rhythms and things like that he busts out originating from this style.
Definitely, yeah. We did a couple of shows at the Capitol. We opened. They were gracious enough to have us Solely Monday at the Capitol a couple of years ago, and I remember him doing some little within the songs, because the songs are obviously different, but he was doing these little things. It was cool.
Yeah, his hi-hat work is impeccable.
Yeah. If you ever get a chance to check out Dean Tony Parks on the internet, he does some really interesting, like almost art pieces in a way. They're all over YouTube. If you just type his name in there, Dean Tony Parks, and it's pretty interesting what he's doing now. He's pretty much almost one man banding it, where he's playing the drums and also playing keyboards and other things. It's pretty crazy. Very art housey, I guess you could say.
Yeah, there's a couple of those guys that do that too. I can't think of his name right now. That's cool.
Yeah.
Brilliant song.
Taking the duo to the next level.
Yes,
that's right.
Absolutely. Thank you, Allen, so much for that great pick.
Yeah.
And
thanks, Allen.
Let's move on to the next one.
Sure.
Hi, this is Mike with Galaxy Jams Reacts. We hope that you enjoyed that React video. Be sure to check out the links below of when we're going to be live streaming our next show, and also how to watch full episodes. Please hit that subscribe button. Every single one helps.